What's going on, football fans? It's your boy J.R. Clark back again with another Truck Thought. This time I find myself up in Athens, Georgia, on the campus of UGA. That got me to thinking about the upcoming title game, obviously, which then got me to thinking about James Cook, obviously, which then led me to thinking about Cordell Patterson and his comments about wanting to finish his career here in Atlanta. And I thought to myself, I'm like, how cool would it be if Cordell finishes his career here in Atlanta and then we drafted James Cook? That would give you two offensive weapons. And I classify him as that because Cordell Patterson is more than just a wide receiver and is more than just a running back. Well, that sun is all up in the face. Anyway, he's more than just a wide receiver and he's more than just a running back. And I think the same can be said for James Cook. James Cook is more than just a running back and more than just a wide receiver. In this evolution of football, the positionless player is becoming more and more apparent and more evident on both sides of the ball, on defense and on offense. I've been reading lately a book about the RPO offensive scheme, and one of the key elements is the tight end. And that tight end is labeled a sniffer, okay? And it took me a second to realize what it meant by sniffer. Sniffing out what the defense is doing, right? You use that tight end to go in a bunch of different positions, line up in a bunch of different angles. That way, the defense tips its hand on what it's doing, giving more information to the quarterback. Well, we got that. We got that in spades in Kyle Pitts. He can succeed in a lot of different areas, a lot of different positions, and from a lot of different platforms in the sense of like where he's starting at. But as we have seen this year, Cordell Patterson is a guy who shows you the value in a positionless player, and we have the coaching staff that can use that type of player. What I mean by that is like Cordell's lined up as a tight end, as an H-back, as a wide out, as a slot guy. He's lined up everywhere just to get the best matchups. Now, as I was worried about initially, it seems like as the season has waned on, his production has slowed down some. Teams have caught up to what he's about and what he's doing and keyed in on him. But that doesn't diminish the idea of that type of player. It doesn't diminish the value of that type of player. And I think you can add to that with a guy like James Cook. If y'all go to the website, I have a write-up on Cook. And that's who I compare him to is Cordell Patterson. He's not as big, obviously. I think he's like right at 6 foot, 190 pounds, as to where Cordell is, 6'2", I believe, 240-ish. So Cordell's a much bigger player, but I think that you can use James Cook in a lot of the similar ways that you use Cordell. As to where Cordell started his career as a wide receiver, I think James Cook has spent the majority of his career in Georgia being an offensive weapon. He's much more than just a running back and much more than just a wide receiver. And I think the mismatches that he brings to the table are nothing but valuable. And you put him on the field with the Cordell Patterson, with the Kyle Pitts, all these guys who are positionless players, in a sense, you're going to accomplish the thing that these modern offenses are trying to do, which is put defenses in conflict, put them in compromising situations, making them have to show and dedicate how they're going to defend you before the snap, giving your quarterback more information. You pair that with a veteran center who can call out the protections, giving Ryan or whoever more time to diagnose what the defense is doing. And I feel like this offense could take another step forward. I would love to see a backfield of like Cordell Patterson, Quadre Olson, and somebody like a James Cook. As a matter of fact, I would like James Cook. At least early part of this draft, right? Like you bring me somebody like a Hassan Haskins who can do a lot of the similar stuff, catching out of the backfield. Kennedy Brooks, those kind of guys. There's a lot of good backs in this draft, and I feel like you pairing one of them with Cordell Patterson could end up, taking this offense to a new level, especially with Kyle Pitts, taking the next step, the next leap. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Again, remember, follow us on Twitter. Check out the website. We got a lot of draft stuff coming at you. And can't wait to talk about this Saints game. But as always, Falcons fans, let's just win.